Wyler, and today is June 1st, 2020. I am a whistleblower with the SEC, and this is my TCR number. In March of 2014, I began documenting the fraud being perpetrated by the Bank of New York Mellon after whistleblower Lynn Zimmernack began releasing all the unendorsed notes that were used in foreclosures. And so my investigations led to a deeper investigation into mortgage electronic registration system. And what I've been documenting since November of 2017 is counterfeit mortgages that are being registered in Wall Street's database, MERS, by its members. And I believe what they're doing is using the 1003, which is a loan application that we submit when we get a mortgage, and they're harvesting that information. They have 21 fields to register a mortgage, only 21 fields, and they can create a mortgage with your private identity. They need your name, your social security number, your address, as well as some other information. And they create fake debt. So what we're doing here is we're drawing a light and focusing on a property that we believe to be owned by Judge David O. Carter, a federal judge in California. And this is a judge that was assigned to the first impression case, Powers versus the Bank of New York Mellon. So this is his address, and this is his audit. 1419 is the property address that we believe to be owned by David Carter, and it's in Laguna Beach. This is 92651. And for the first search, we're going to take off street, and we're just going to put Catalina because MERS instructs you to, for example, East Main Street should be entered in as Main. So we're going to do that because that's their instructions. This is the record that they want you to see. And then we'll go back and tweak it to find the other records that they really don't want you to see. So here we go with Catalina. And it says that there no mens can be located that match the search criteria entered. Verify the search criteria and resubmit. If you need assistance and make sure your search criteria are valid, use the link to see help. So they're saying there's no mens. Mens are mortgage identification numbers. So there are no MERS mortgages on this specific property address, according to the database. So what we're going to do is we're going to use different versions of the address to come up with the counterfeit mortgages. We're going to unveil those mortgages that are hidden. In this instance, we're using Catalina Street, ST, and we're going to come up with a very interesting mortgage that was that has a note date of 4/10/1987. And this is really significant because MERS was not created until 1990. 1990 is when MERS was created, but this one was registered 3 years prior to the database being put together. And it's by WAMU. The first 7 digits of the MIN number are is the identity of the entity who registered this. So you can always trace back the MERS member who registered this by looking at the first 7 numbers. The servicer being WAMU, and it is inactive, paid off, and we'd like to know who paid that off on this particular address with this particular mortgage identification number. And we'll do another search here. And we're just going to show you how versatile the system is. We're just going to put a period onto Catalina Street so we can locate more mortgages that are hidden from the public database, unless you know the algorithm on how to find this. So this is a humdinger. It's Provident Funding once again. Provident Funding is associated with a lot of law enforcement individuals, judges, politicians. In fact, Provident Funding was one of the banks that I was looking at on Adam Schiff's audit of his home. And that involved Truist Bank. He has several Truist Bank mortgages on his MERS audit that do not reconcile with county records. So we want to know about provident funding and what are judges and attorneys and politicians doing with these fake mortgages that have been registered on their homes, on their specific addresses with specific note dates. This one's 8/29/2012. And let's see, it is inactive, meaning it's been paid off and closed. So we want to know who paid off this mortgage on this judge's home, and where did that money go? And what was the source of the funds to fund this when it was originated? So we're going to go back and we're going to do one more search. And we're just going to put in street, Catalina Street. See if we can come up with some more mortgages that are hidden from the records here. So you can see there's several set of books in MERS. And here we have MetLife, GMAC, and we have receivership, which means that the first 7 digits there identify the bank that went into receivership. And in this case, I did a little research and found out it was AmTrust Bank was the identity who registered this mortgage with a note date of 2009. There's another mortgage in 2009 in December from Met Home Loans. And we see Met Home Loans on a lot of judges' properties. So what's going on with that? And we need answers to our questions here. And if we look at each one of these, they're all paid off, inactive, closed. Meaning someone provided the funds to pay these off. They each have their own note date. And so what we're going to need to do is look at the county records to see how these reconcile, if in fact they do. So there you have it. Thank you for watching.